Welcome back, everybody. This is part 3 of Illuminations of Light audio blog on codependent relationships. The art of courtship. People have forgotten to take the time to get to know each other before hopping into bed together and making babies. I'm here to tell you to take the time to get to know the other person and watch them move through the changes that we all go through so you can more accurately compare the list that you just made. Allow that person to become a trusted friend before you talk about love. Yes, you can have attraction, even soul recognition, and perhaps this is a person who is destined for you for a time. But if you base your relationships on the physical end and that type of feeling, chances are that relationship will not survive and you will not survive as a couple. So taking the time to get to know each other and compare your lists for a perfect mate, see where they line up and where they do not, see if you can compromise in the areas which are not perfect. If there are too many negatives and not enough positives, if both people are not shoulder to shoulder walking in the same direction, then you are setting yourself up for failure, feeding those old tapes that you are not good enough. So learning to be friends and taking the time to allow that without the complication of the hormones and sex. Be celibate and learn to like the other person. We can love someone to bits and not like them and not be able to live with them. My daddy said to me, if you can be friends for 5 years and endure all the changes that people go through in that amount of time, you have a good shot at that marriage lasting. I say friends first, last, and always. That's my personal motto. Can you commit to yourself the way that you commit to everyone else you love? I challenge you, the audience, to do this. Make a commitment to yourself and do something loving and good for yourself every day, daily, for 30 days. See what results you get from yourself, your thinking, and the people around you. I dare ya. I double dog dare ya. If you think that you have these issues, I recommend you do some research into this. See a lot of different perspectives. Seek help. Codependence Anonymous or CODA, Adult Children of Alcoholics, or Professional Family Counselor. There's no shame in exploring oneself and how we tick. I do hope you found some interesting and useful information in this blog entry. Please send in questions on this topic to illuminationsoflight@yahoo.com. We will be answering questions live on Wednesday too. Until next time, peace, love, and joy. Hugs and kisses, Kimberly. We will be playing some snippets from some of the audios that are in the written blog, but we will not be playing the whole thing. We hope that you'll be able to refer back to the blog and you can watch these YouTube videos yourself. Thanks so much for stopping in and listening today. We hope that you're enjoying our blog audio series. Many blessings, beloveds. Have a wonderful day. I want to play a few snippets of some of the audio videos from YouTube that I have posted on the blog as well. So these will just be snippets, not the whole thing. You'll have to go back to the original blog to hear them. Thanks, everybody.
And feel a more solid sense of yourself. It's like instead they're relationships that leave you unsure, uncertain, whether it's, their aloof behavior or an addiction or infidelity or whatever the thing is that keeps you from really connecting in a relationship and building trust and feeling safe. And that's what relationships are supposed to be about, but so many aren't, and it comes from codependency. And basically when I say the word codependency, I mean it if you don't have a solid sense of yourself and you look to another person, their approval or disapproval or them behaving a certain way or not behaving a certain way in order for you to feel okay, which leads to trying to control them, or it leads to like, a wounded sense of self where you feel rejected and you collapse inside of yourself when that love source that you have become dependent on is not there. And I think the thing with codependency that you also have to keep in mind is that it takes both partners. It's a relationship that goes on and on and on, or a drama that plays out until one or both of you stop being codependent, in which case either one person stops being codependent and they say, you know what, I'm tired of playing this out, I'm going to just figure myself out and how to love myself, and I'm going to stop engaging. Then, you know, that may wake the other person up to begin changing. It rarely does, in my...
Share with you in this segment about the top 10 ways to identify codependency. You've probably heard that word, codependency. Codependency is a set of maladaptive compulsive behaviors learned by family members which is experiencing great emotional pain and stress. And these particular behaviors that you have been conditioned from having great emotional pain and stress in a family can be passed down from generation to generation. No one for 3 or 4 generations could have been an alcoholic or a drug-dependent person, but those that live in that environment could have inherited a set of elaborate coping mechanisms in order to survive in that family that was experiencing great emotional pain and stress.
Are flying at me from the control room, from our camera. And Greg, you wanted to know about whether it's love or dependency, some sort of addiction to another person. How do we know the difference?
That's a tremendous question, because many people mistake dependency or... And that's why it hurts, because they're dependent. They feel they're not whole, they can't do things on their own, they need that other person to help them get through the night, get through the day. Then if the person leaves, they're devastated. That's dependency. That's coming from a sense of something is missing in me. That's attachment, which in the Zen way of thinking is one of the greatest causes of suffering.
In our last segment, I shared with you the top 10 ways to identify codependency. Today, from Denver, Colorado, I'm going to share with you the top 10 actions to break codependency. Remember, this information is from my book, Why We Stay Stuck. You can go to my website at thewell.net and you can order the book, Why We Stay Stuck. If you want a seminar in your area, go to my website at thewell.net and contact me there so that we can come to your city and do a seminar on why we stay stuck. Today I'm going to talk about the top 10 actions to break codependency. Number 1, learn to pay attention to doubts and premonitions. Codependents usually don't feel like they're good enough to have doubts and premonitions. There are loved ones and there are people in your life, whether it's a...
This audio blog has been produced by Kimberly Murphy. This concludes our segments for today. I hope you'll visit the blog to see the rest of these installments because they really do have some good things to say.